Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I'm back with another video. If we take a look at the cards that came out in the shuffling, what I'm really feeling is the Divine Feminines are in the Queen of Swords energy. And what that means for me is that the Divine Feminines are starting to understand the connection from a deeper perspective, a more spiritual perspective. They're starting to understand the connection from unconditional love perspective. So what that means for the Queen of Swords is that when the Divine Feminines start understanding unconditional love, it's not necessarily towards the Divine Masculines first. It's always towards themselves. And what that means is oftentimes letting go of the connection or the Divine Masculine in his current physical, spiritual, emotional state, because the feminine knows that there is an imbalance. The feminines are starting to understand the love energy. And when we start understanding the love energy, we start realizing that love for self is where it all starts. And when we start loving ourselves, we start appreciating everything about our experience here on earth. And when the feminines learn this lesson, they start realizing that when we attract love, and when we accept love, and when we reciprocate love from another person, it has to feel good. So for many of you on the twin flame journey, if your Divine Masculine is not reciprocating the love that you are putting into the connection, it's forcing you to step into the Queen of Swords energy, which is letting go of things even though it's breaking her heart. So she's letting go of her Divine Masculine despite the fact that she feels such a spiritual connection towards it. It's challenging her in every way she knows. It's challenging her spirituality, her beliefs, her heart center. Her heart points to him, but what he is displaying in the physical 3D reality, it's not matching what her heart feels. So really this is teaching her a lesson in letting go, because when you're on the twin flame journey and you accept these lessons with grace, you will be rewarded by Source and the Divine. So what I feel throughout this reading with these cards is that once the feminine learns the lesson of letting go, but still holding the space of unconditional love, she starts reaping the benefits of the twin flame connection, which is the mirror there in the background. So the Ten of Pentacles tells us that when the mirror is there in the background, what that means is we have to have self-love and we have to emanate self-love in order for another to demonstrate this love towards us. How will we recognize when someone else loves us if we don't love ourselves? How are we supposed to recognize when someone else is loving us in the right way if we don't love ourselves in the right way? Loving ourselves the right way means stepping into this Queen of Swords energy when need be. And that means really dismantling anything or anyone that comes into our path that doesn't reciprocate authenticity. When the feminine remains in this energy of bringing into her reality everything centered around self-love, she's able to expand. And when she expands, it's so very much attractive to the masculine. She becomes so dominant and so balanced in her very feminine sexual energies. So naturally, the masculines are more dominant in the connection. Many of you experience twin flame connections where your masculines are very, very sexual. What this is doing in turn is it's challenging your sexuality and your ability to be very open. If we move on to this card here, the Lantern tells us that we're starting to love each other despite the hesitations and the five senses. We're moving past the five senses and feeling more with the heart. Because I feel like with the five senses, we still hang on to others' opinions, right? We still think about what other people will think. But when I see the Lantern, I feel like it's shedding light on new beginnings, and the twin flames are starting to understand and confront why they're hesitating on this love. So the masculines are asking themselves, what's stopping me from pursuing this woman romantically, this feminine energy, everything that represents her? What's preventing me from pursuing this beautiful emotion of love? And when he starts pinpointing outside influences, I sense the masculine energies, feeling very irritated by the fact that they've allowed such minuscule things to come between the connection. And in turn, I feel like both twins are facing the music. It's like he sets the violin aside in the corner over there just to kiss her passionately. And I feel like it's because they're facing the music. There's nothing that can come in the way of the connection. It doesn't matter what both twins have experienced in their life circumstance. They're really understanding and coming to terms with the truth of what passion feels like, what love feels like, what true love feels like. And in our society, it's been too programmed within us to think that this type of love doesn't exist, or it's like hitting the lottery or winning some type of jackpot, when really and truly this kind of love exists if you're willing to stand up for it, if you can recognize it for what it is and claim it when you see it. So if there are many of you out there who hear this reading and you're resonating with the cards, I feel like it's a true sign of the inner work that you're doing, and it's literally pulling two souls together like magnets because you're fighting for what it is that you want, really and truly. So I hope this reading finds you all well. I love you all, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.